Well guys, welcome back to the vlog. So many thoughts and things I want to talk to you guys about, but I know that there is one hot topic that is very relevant at the moment. It rolls around this time of year, and actually over the last couple of years, due to medical advancement, shall we say, it's become something that everybody has an opinion on. And actually people ask me often if I have an opinion on it, and if I do, what is it? Yes, that's right, I am talking all things weight loss. Now, when creating content, showing up online, I want to inspire people. I want to remind each and every one of you what is possible. Because I have experienced both ends of the spectrum, and ultimately what I think is most important, and one of the absolute core pillars, not just of my brand but of me, one of my main values, something I'm so passionate about, is confidence. Confidence and helping all people, but I do work very closely with lots of women, helping people cultivate and create as much confidence as possible. I am also very passionate about health, mental, physical, but because of my journey, my own weight loss, I know what is possible, and I know how truly life-changing it is when we feel brilliant, when we feel strong, when we feel well, healthy, fit, capable, and it spills into other parts of your life. So when we are feeling happy and healthy, energized, everything else improves. There's like a halo effect that lifts everything else up. Now, I am clearly not a medical professional. I am a certified qualified coach, but I'm also an individual who has accomplished a remarkable weight loss and body transformation. I had to tackle my weight loss in two parts. So I had a 12-stone weight loss in my 20s by completely overhauling my lifestyle. I changed everything. And I went from totally neglecting myself and not knowing how to care for myself, like as in not understanding the education behind it all, and not knowing what I should be eating, how I should be feeling my body, how I should be working out, recovering, sleeping. Like, it just wasn't something that I necessarily knew. And so when I encountered difficulties in my adolescence, my teens and into my 20s, I turned to food for comfort, and that did not serve me very well, and I have spent a very long time tackling that. So that was kind of part one of my weight loss, and then part two was after my cancer diagnosis. Clearly I had just had the fight of my life on my hands, and the last thing I was concerned about was calorie counting and tracking my macros and whatnot. And I had obviously went through, now actually I've had a lot of surgery in my life, and in this episode I'm going to talk to you about all of it. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So strap in, we are going to talk all things weight loss, 17 stone actually. We are going to talk plastic surgery, yes. ultimately, and I'll close our little opener here, no one else has the right to have an opinion on your weight, your appearance, the things you want for yourself, how you achieve said results, health, wellness, ideal weight, physique. They can all be achieved through a number of different avenues now. And actually, how wonderful. What a gift. Fire engine. What a gift that as many people as possible can get help and support with something that is so difficult to conquer. So when it comes to GLP-1s and medical support, whilst I absolutely recommend getting professional advice from someone who's qualified, guys, we all just need to live our own lives and do whatever works for us by any means necessary to feel healthy, well, confident, as long as I say we're doing it in a healthy, considered, informed, educated manner. You do you. So anyway, I'm so excited to dive into this subject with you. Also coming up in this episode, I'm talking about all things holistic health and wellness as well. I'm going to share all of the secrets that I have used throughout this whole journey of mine that helped me achieve, yes, my weight loss. I'm going to talk surgery, like I said, but I'm also going to talk all of my wellness practices, rituals, and how I stay feeling energized and in peak, sorry, that's really noisy, and in peak physical and mental condition. So make yourself a cuppa, sit back and enjoy. This one's gonna be good.
And I felt like a boom in your arms, I call home. Do you know when it colors?
So as you know, this week's episode is all about health, fitness, wellness, and just taking excellent care of ourselves. What that also means is a lot of early mornings, heading to the gym and getting our sessions in before our working day. It is something that I've probably always trained in the morning, but I've been super consistent with it over the last couple of years, and I love it. It totally sets you up for the day. There's loads of science behind like working out in the morning, working out at night time. We actually do both because we train so much, but we are, Gary's here too, but he's being quiet.
Hi. Very early.
Gary doesn't love the mornings as much as I do. But we are heading up today. I've got a little high rock session. Then I have a weight session. And then we have Extreme Fit later tonight as well. So definitely locking back in again for our next high rocks. We obviously train a lot. The impact that fitness has had on every aspect of my life is enormous. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. But stay tuned.
Do you know when it colors, when to become one? And I felt like a boom in your arms, I call home. Do you know when it colors, when to...
So guys, welcome back to the vlog. We are here doing PT with the one and only Barry Curtis.
Good morning.
What are we doing this morning, Baz?
We're doing legs.
We're doing legs.
And a little bit abs that Cheryl
And-
doesn't know about.
I'm happy to hear that though. So this week the theme is all about health, fitness and wellness. So that's
Yeah.
what we're talking about. We're talking about all the stuff I do to stay fit, healthy, well, energised, focused and perform at my best.
Well,
This is something that Barry's very passionate about as well. So we'll take you into some of the workout with us.
Paradise, when your hands are in mine, it feels like paradise. When I drown into your eyes, like a paradise. feels like paradise when your hands are in mine. It feels like paradise when I drown into your eyes. Like it feels like paradise when your hands are in mine. It feels like paradise when I drown into your eyes. Like a paradise. You know when it called love, when two become one, and I felt like a boom in your arms. I call home. It feels like paradise when your hands are in.
Welcome back to the vlog. I wanted to. This episode, this part in particular, has been in my mind, on my mind for quite some time. And so I wanted to come and sit somewhere where I feel most relaxed and zen. So you are joining me in my bedroom, our bedroom, for a little bit of a tete-a-tete. I have always been very open and honest about my journey, the lessons I've learned, and what has helped me completely transform my life kind of from the inside out. And it definitely started with my weight loss ambition and then achievement. So here it is, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. I probably just a little bit of a heads up that there might be some, little bits of trigger words in here for people. So just kind of putting that out there. I struggled with body image and confidence, and I was self-conscious from quite an early age. Although I wasn't kind of born that way, I definitely had this inherent confidence. I was just about to call it sass, but I think that's societal conditioning that makes us think that. But I lost it somewhere along the way, and I lost it when I started neglecting myself and my health. But it was compounded with other things. And so as we grow up and we start experiencing adult life and trying to make sense of the world, we aren't necessarily equipped with the tools and the coping strategies to help us do that successfully or effectively. And so I turned to more self-sabotage, unhealthy escapes. I just wasn't taking the best care of myself, and so I decided something had to change. Now I have spoken and written before about why I believe my weight escalated to the point that it did, and at one point I was a UK size 26. So but most importantly, I was deeply, deeply unhappy. So what did I do? Well, I done a few things. I went for therapy first and foremostly. I knew I was not doing very well, and I needed help, and I needed proper expertise to help me feel better and not use food as a outlet, a mechanism, therapy ultimately. And going through that process actually taught me so much. Now, at the same time, I was also fortunate enough to be referred to a dietitian, and I was completely re-educated around food, how to eat, how to fuel your body, and how to break some of the terrible habits that I was living by. And But this is the most important thing. I believed in myself. I started to believe in myself. And I sort of created this like steely, lock in, do the job mentality. And I hadn't seen that in myself before. I had been ambitious and I had been driven, but I had never seen this like real disciplined and almost like dangerously sharp commitment to like doing whatever the thing was. And I kind of liked it. I was like, oh, I didn't realize I had like gumption. I didn't realize I had that. I thought it was like quickest meal, quickest this, what's the quickest da da da. And actually I was like, no, I have the ability to persevere. I have real deep resilience and grit. And like I was late teens at this time, and into my early 20s, and it has really been a lifelong commitment to loving myself through all of the different seasons and chapters of my life. And so I locked in. I didn't eat takeaway food, pizza, chocolate, crisps. I didn't eat anything that was like high in fat, basically high in sat fat, or just very like, we know it to be unhealthy. And I followed the plan that my dietitian put together for me. Now, disclaimer, I'm not saying that any of those things are bad. You do you. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not putting food advice out there. But if you want outlier results, right? If you're looking for big changes, you've got to be prepared to go all in. Like, you just have to. And I was. And as a result, I completely transformed my body. Now, I've mentioned before, this is kind of over two parts. So I had a significant weight loss in my 20s. That weight loss, and this is the bit that I haven't really ever touched on before, that weight loss in and of itself resulted in an incredible amount of loose skin. I think, so that first weight loss was 12 stone. And I was so it was over the course of my 20s, and then I got into my 30s. And, well, sorry, it would have been late 20s. And I actually felt more physically insecure, thinner. And actually it did drop all the way down. It dropped down to about an 8 at that point. I had so much loose skin and it was horrendous. And so I decided to get a consultation and see what the options were to get rid of that. I felt like, and actually I discussed it with my family, and I thought I would have been, I don't know why I thought this, because my parents are amazing, like my parents are awesome, but somewhere in my mind, and this is what your mind does to you, it will always present like the bad outcomes first, and we have to go searching for the good outcomes. And so I went and spoke to my parents, and I was like, look, this is holding me back. I don't like, it was holding me back from like dating and things like that. And they were like, you have worked so hard, you have been so disciplined, like, let's explore options and see what we can do. And so kind of fast forward a little bit, I ended up having a abdominoplasty, so tummy tuck. And that was the first surgery that I had. And that all went very well. It was great. The results were amazing. And that was enough to like kind of do for a little bit, because I was so happy at the difference. Then I went, and this is actually, this was a really happy time in my life, my early 30s. And I was living a great life, fantastic career opportunities. And I went to Hong Kong for a while, had a great time there, but actually deeply missed home, my home life, everybody that I'd left back here. And it made me really reassess my fitness and everything again whilst I was there. And then I came home and I was thinking more about surgery. And there was other bits. Now, the more I leaned into fitness, the more some of the kind of excess skin that I had was kind of really becoming quite like impractical as much as anything else, right? Not just for aesthetic, but literally your old body, feeling like your old body is holding you back. And so off I went again to consult with different surgeons, different options. And at this point I had a thigh lift and a arm lift, and that was, both those procedures were done at the same time, so my recovery from that was really quite rough. I was quite unwell. I had various complications, which is part and parcel to being Cheryl. That happens a lot. We've learned to expect it and plan for it. As a child, I actually didn't keep particularly well. It's funny, I can hear myself getting emotional. As a child, I didn't keep particularly well. And so I've just always kind of been on the back foot with it. When I got sick as a child, it would floor me. If I had a cut, it would take weeks to heal. I was just a bit physically weaker. I wonder where all my strength training comes from, what I'm trying to prove to myself. And so that recovery was really rough. I was very well taken care of, and kind of got through it. Then I'm skipping over lots of bits, but I want to just focus on the subject at hand. Then obviously in 2019 I had my cancer diagnosis, and I cared so much less about loose skin and about many other things actually. And so I had to have more surgery, this time of a very different nature, and have all my cancer treatment. And I made myself a lot of promises during that time. And I've been living those promises ever since. To have a big, beautiful, bold life, to be happy, to find joy every day, to be grateful for every day that I'm given, that I'm here, that all feels like bonus, to be honest. So I leaned after having control of your body kind of taken away from you, it absolutely made sense to me that I wanted to feel really strong and capable and powerful within my body. Now, I had removed alcohol from my life in and around the time of like diagnosis. I had sort of done like 6 months sober, leading up to that time, a year sober. I'd been playing about with it on and off for a while, but I can hand on heart say that removing alcohol from my life has been the single best gift I've ever given myself. And it's also massively changed the way I look as well. I think now that we're having this conversation about, I sometimes call it plastic surgery, and my lovely mum corrects me and says it's corrective surgery that you had, darling. It's not plastic surgery. There's no plastic in you. And she's right. So far. She's right. Whether we call it corrective, cosmetic, like potato, it doesn't really matter. And so after rebuilding my strength in my body, my mind, and every part of my life back again after cancer, I have absolutely, like, I work out a lot. I have a very different physique. It's very muscular and much more athletic. And then I lost a lot more weight again. So I had another kind of 5 stone weight loss after all of that. And it's funny, my whole life I told myself I just was big boned and I was just like a bigger built girl, and that's the way I was supposed to look. That wasn't correct. I'm actually not. I've got quite a slight frame. Now with lots of muscle on it, which I love and I'm very proud of for all of those reasons that I said. It's funny now, come to think of it, I hadn't expected to get emotional doing this, but I'd kind of forgotten that I was always kind of the poorly child. And now when I think about how fit and healthy I am and how strong I am and how capable I am, yes, in fitness, but in other things, I have had to work for it. And I think it would be easy to perhaps look at life now or look at me now and think like, It's all right for her. Like, I've really, really had to work to rewrite my stories and make them something else. And that's why I share, because if I can, you can. Like, we all can. And no path is ever going to just be easy. It's not going to just go like ABC done. It isn't like that. There's going to be stuff that catches us totally off guard. And things that, honestly, you just don't get over. You grow around your grief. It's always there. And other people will forget and move on and expect you to be just the same and to put all the fragments of yourself back together again. When sometimes it's just the most you can do. It's just like show up the best you can and get through your day. Now for me that's fewer and like very rare, but I've grown around my grief and it will be with me, and that's the point, I think. You know, you're not meant to just recover and then forget. Now, it's not meant to define you, it's not meant to hold you back, it's meant to, you know, shape us, and we grow and we evolve and we expand and we think differently and we become different, and then hopefully our like legacy and our lessons impact and influence others, and we can inspire others. Like, I think that's the point. But I found myself back in a familiar situation where I had new loose skin that was impacting me from a practical performance point of view, from a how I felt about my body point of view. And so what do? We do something about it. And so I had a 360-degree lower body lift. And that was recent history, recent-ish. And yes, I had complications with my recovery again, but the results, oh my goodness. Do you know, my surgeon took 2 pounds of loose skin off each bottom cheek. That's a lot. That's a lot of us. I set a little time check because I tend to talk a lot. But this subject seemed worthy of discussion. So I'm sharing all of this because our health is a gift, and it is worthy of your time and energy to protect it and to maintain it. Mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. Your health and wellness should be very high on your list of things to build your day around. Fitness is my anchor. Like, literally this morning I was toying with myself. Am I going to go for a run? Oh, I trained last night and I trained yesterday and I've done this and I've done that, and I'm trying not to burn out either. I'm trying to be very careful and kind with myself, but I also have big goals and big ambitions. And well, to be quite frank, if you want extraordinary results, you have to be willing to put in extraordinary effort. If you want balanced and average, cool. And it's not that's fine. That's not what I'm after. There's not one thing about anything I've just said in this last 17 minutes that would convey that I'm looking for average. So anyway, I went the run. And of course I felt phenomenal all day because I went the run. Fitness is everything. And so if you are starting out on your journey, believe in yourself, get some support in place to help you. That could be a PT, and that could be online, it can be in person. Get yourself a life coach. Like, this is literally what I do with my clients, is help them design a life that they love, where they don't hold back, they don't stop. We work together on client pitches, fitness plans, nutrition plans, financial goals, relationships, career, job, business, marketing, brand, personal brand, all of it, travel, hobbies, family, like all of it. And it's amazing and I love it and I'm so grateful. But a kind of overarching theme for me is the nutrition side of it. You cannot outtrain a bad diet. Your energy will go from like 0 to 100 if you're properly fueling and nourishing your body. And there are 1,000 wellness things that we can be doing. Each one I love, and I'm going to talk to you more about in this video and share more of some of the ones that I love. Meditation, for example. Oh my gosh, it's like I love it. But none of them matter if your foundations aren't strong. And your foundations are how you're eating, how you're exercising, how you're sleeping, and how you are talking to yourself. Those 4 fundamentals will shape all of it. The rest of it is just optimization and having fun with it and playing into it and experiencing a more spiritual side of yourself or a calmer sense of yourself, down-regulating your nervous system so that you can perform and focus at your best. But start with the basics. And so if this video finds you starting out your journey, halfway through your journey, quite far in your journey, wondering what else you want to do next, or perhaps you've achieved the weight loss and now you're wondering about surgery and should I and shouldn't I and what will people think and da-da-da. Doesn't matter what anyone thinks. What matters is what you think and how you feel. Yes, we get consultations and we make sure we're working with approved, accredited experts and professionals always. No, we're not seeking perfection. Your body is not an object that should be polished and perfected to sit, appear on Instagram or, whatever. Your body is a vehicle through which to live and love your life. So go do that. Go do that in the best way that you can. And don't let your own negative self-talk or self-doubt or the opinions of others or anything else hold you back. We can all be anything we want to be. If that young girl who at various points in her life had all of that adversity to face can go on and run 10Ks, high rocks races, fitness competitions, weightlifting, yoga, Pilates, travel the world with her career, like if she can, we all can. We all should.
Do you know when it called love, when to become one? And I felt like a boom in your arms. I call home. It feels like paradise when your hands are in mine. It feels like paradise when I drown into your eyes. Like it feels like paradise when your hands are in mine. It feels like paradise when I drown into your eyes. Like
you are joining us, in the middle of a very exciting, very productive day. We are meeting with some of our clients today for big strategy sessions. Incredible, like just absolutely incredible. Love getting people together in person and sitting around a table and ideating, brainstorming, forecasting, like just coming up with the strategy, what's working, what's not working, what do we need to do more of, less of, what are the big goals, what's like the kind of more nitty gritty that we need to unpack and get really specific about things, and it's amazing. However, Gary and I were just having a conversation about the vlog, and Gary asked me what the theme was this week, and I said, well, it's all wellness focused, and Gary's like, well, where am I featuring in it? Like, surely I'm the most... Hang on, I'll spin you around and Gary can tell you what he said.
So I believe my words were, I'm the most well man you'll never know.
And then I asked you, hang tight, and then I asked Gary, what did you just have for dinner, darling? What did you have for dinner, darling?
A number of sandwiches.
So what's the number? How many sandwiches? What was the number of sandwiches?
Double figures.
Tell the people want to know.
10. Sandwiches. That's right, 10 sandwiches.
So, 10 sandwiches this man had for his dinner, and he wants to be a main feature in the wellness episode of the vlog.
I would like to add.
What would you... Hang on, let me just...
They were very healthy optioned fillings on white bread. That's correct.
So this is wellness in reverse. How not to feel phenomenal and what not to have for your dinner. I'm only kidding. Everything in moderation, sort of.
That was not moderation. 10 sandwiches is not moderation. 10 sandwiches is... Somebody's put 10 sandwiches down in front of me. I'm going to eat them because we're starving. That's what happened.
Well, you've worked very hard today and you have earned your carb city dinner. You're also going to Fives this evening, so you'll burn it all off.
Yeah.
Anyway, hope you're all enjoying this episode. And
Do you know when it called love, when two become one, and I felt like a boom in your arms, I call home. It feels like paradise when your hands are in mine. It feels like paradise when I drown into your eyes. Like it feels like paradise when your hands are in mine. It feels like paradise when I drown into your eyes. Like a paradise. Do you know when it called love, when two become one, and I felt like a boom in your arms, I call home. It feels like paradise when your hands are in mine. It feels like paradise when I drown into your eyes. Like it feels like paradise when your hands are in mine. It feels like paradise when I drown into your eyes. Like a paradise.
good morning. Welcome back to the vlog. I hope you are all enjoying this episode. Very funny twist of events have occurred this week. Not funny actually, but unexpected, shall we say. If you follow me on socials, you'll have seen that I referenced an evening, a night spent in A&E at our local hospital. Bit of a long story, but I experienced severe chest pain on Thursday night. It kind of came on all of a sudden, and it was like blinding, like absolutely. I've got quite a high pain threshold. I obviously put myself through quite a lot of physical exertion anyway. I've had a long-standing medical background, and it's not lost on me that how funny it is in a week where I'm talking all things health and wellness that I land myself in hospital. But no, I had got home from an amazing day. Gary and I had sessions with our clients on Thursday, absolutely incredible, like brilliant. And I was actually high as a kite when leaving and coming home, but then as soon as I got home I had this like absolutely blinding pain in my chest and I couldn't breathe. I was very sick. and I knew something was wrong, but I tried to, like all of us do, I tried to kind of like ride it out, and I was like, this will settle, it'll settle. An hour passes, 2 hour passes. Gary had been at Fives. He got home and he was like, what is happening? I had texted my dad to say, like, how do I know when I need medical attention for chest pains? And of course he done the right thing and was like, it's very, very unlikely that, honestly, I thought I was having a heart attack. Like, not to dramatise or anything like that, that's genuinely for the pain that I was feeling, how sore it was, how much I couldn't catch my breath, I couldn't breathe. I was like, there's something really wrong here. And so as soon as my dad was like, you need to go and get that checked, I was like, I completely agree, like this is not normal. So went to hospital, staff were all amazing, done loads of tests and everything, still in lots of pain, and anyway, turns out I was having a severe allergic reaction to something that I had taken, and we were there kind of about 4 in the morning. The pain started to subside. They had to redo my bloods a couple of times because they weren't quite right. But anyway, by this point I was reassured that I was not having any sort of cardiac situation, and that there was nothing like underlying. It was something I had taken. So long story short, it actually just absolutely underlines and emphasises the point and the purpose of this video. Our health is everything. Things can happen from nowhere, but if we are controlling the controllables, like, you're only going to put yourself in the best possible position to avoid major things happening. So that was a very stark reminder for me. It was a little, I've actually just been for an appointment with my physio, who knows me very well. She's a very close friend. She knows everything about my medical background. Obviously she knows me really well as a person, and when I went in this morning I was a little tearful, and I was like, I don't understand why I'm feeling like emotional. And she was like, well, your body's been in extreme pain for an extended amount of time. It's very triggering for anybody, like you've got a fright. She was like, your adrenaline would have spiked because of what was happening. Because I was like full on shaking when I was at the hospital, like basically from when the pain started, I was like just full on shaking. And she was like, your adrenaline would have been through the roof. Your body's also having an allergic response, so your body's fighting to get rid of the toxins that are in your body. And so she was like, now, of course, you're emotional because of all of those things. And also, you'll crash because your body's fighting to do other things, so you don't have the same energy to be like high and bubbly and all of the things. So I mean, I just always feel like a new woman coming out of my appointments with my physio anyway. She's amazing. Vicky, love you. But yeah, just what a 48 hours. So like I say, it just absolutely underlines and emphasises why taking care of ourselves, our health, our wellness, physical, mental, is so important. The other thing that kind of like a fleeting thought was, is this a panic attack? And I was like, surely not. Like, I don't feel panicked. But I'm aware I have a busy life. But alas, it was neither of those things. And I'm absolutely fine. So anyway, thank you for tuning into this episode. Thank you for joining me as I spoke you through some, not all, of my wellness practices. There is a lot more in store. Let me know if anything that you watched or heard or that we spoke about in this episode resonates, and tune in next week. Actually, little teaser, I am going to the Channel Islands next week, Jersey and Guernsey, for a huge business trip. There is a lot in store and it's going to be amazing. And of course, I'm going to take all of you along with me for the adventure. So tune in next week, where I'll be telling you all and sharing all of the adventures, highlights, and amazing experiences of the week ahead.
Do you know